So yesterday we have seen till the three types of risks and different types of levels of risks. So user level, role level, etc. And let us see now about risk simulation, which is again very important from interview point of view as well as in real-time scenarios also. We use this a lot, risk simulation. Okay, so first of all, what do you mean by the word simulation? Anyone? Define simulation, the word general meaning without SAP knowledge, or in a generic word in a dictionary, according to dictionary meaning, what exactly is the word of meaning of the word simulation? Anyone?
Simulate English meaning is something to add on or uh, something to add to existing one, or just we will check. We can check in future, like what if we, I mean, add
Just to
or remove anything,
modify or
how it will be
something.
fake or pretend, or add on is the meaning.
Add on. Okay.
Simulate.
Okay, any other meaning?
Can say the imitation.
Imitation?
Yeah, like model by or imitation.
Okay. Yeah, somewhat nearer to imitation, not exactly add on. So I'll give you an example like so when you suppose it is for pilot training, especially in pilot trainings, in the initial classes you will be allowed to sit on a simulator which you feel like a driving a plane, aeroplane, but not, you are actually not driving the plane. So it will get you the feeling of it, a replica of actual aeroplane. You get the feeling of driving it, but you don't actually drive it. It is actually a simulation concepts. So where a lot of trainings, they real time, they don't train you on the actual things, but they train you on simulators. So here also, simulation means which is not exactly happening there, but you are trying to replicate it as if it is happening. So the actual thing is not happening. Virtual thing, you can say. Reality and virtuality. The opposite of reality is virtuality. So the virtual thing. So now when we apply the definition to SAP here, when do we go for this concept? So we call that as a risk simulation. Means when there was a, we are trying to find out a risk in advance without actually doing that particular or giving that access. So that is what we are trying to do. So when do we go for simulation? These are the two scenarios I have given. So this is a user level simulation. We go whenever user access, whenever user asks for extra access. And we also can go role level simulation whenever the role has to be modified, especially adding of T codes, not exactly removing, only adding of T codes. So this is the scenarios basically when we go for simulation. So I said user level, whenever user asks for extra access. So let us take, this is a user level simulation. User has role 1 and role 2, and user is now requesting for role 3. So by adding of role 3, there may be a new risks coming up to the user level, because the T codes of R3 may combine with the T codes of R1 and R2 and can lead to SOD risk, or there could be some critical actions within R3 and that could cause critical action risk. There could be some critical permissions within R3 and that even also could cause critical permission risk. So before adding R3, I want to know if I add R3 to this user, what will be the new risks coming up because of adding of R3. So based on that, I can take a decision whether to add this role or not. Okay, clear everyone regarding the scenario? User level simulation. So generally we get requests in security for adding of additional roles. So before adding the additional role, when you don't have GRC, when GRC was not there, we directly use it to assign the role without checking for risks. But now when GRC is there, before you assign the role, we check for risks because of assigning this R3, and then only we take a decision to assign the role or not. Okay, clear everyone so far? And similarly, role level simulation is like a role has T1 and T2 T codes. Now T3 is we got a request to modify it into add T3 into the role. So by adding of T3 into this role, maybe T1 plus T3 is a critical combination, SOD risk. T2 plus T2 plus T3 may be another critical combination. So like this, we need to, before adding T3, we need to know whether this T3 will cause any risks by adding that into the role. Clear everyone? So the definition part, theoretical part. So shall we go into the practicals now? So we'll see how this simulation works.
Sridhar,
Yeah.
I'll ask you a question. Please tell me if at all I'm talking it in an earlier manner.
Okay.
See, if you are trying to add a T code to a role, consider that is a single role.
Yes.
And if you are assigning only composite roles to users, so will we check with the composite role or will we check with the single role?
Just yesterday I told you, right? See, whatever you do at a role level, if you maintain or if you manage that there is no risk at a role level. But again, when it assigned to user, multiple roles are assigned. So you said composite role, right? So composite role means there could be multiple single roles under the composite role.
Exactly.
So initially, so this is that is according to client requirement. Whether you want to check at role level simulation when you are trying to modify the role, that is fine. But finally, always the every auditor is mainly concerned of this level only, user level only. So we have to check two things. So you said, coming back to your question, if a single role is modified, you need to check two. At a single role level, the risk we have to calculate. Also at a composite role level, also the risk has to be calculated.
And both are checked in the development system only? Or in the quality, one system will check one role and development will check one role, like that?
No, I mean the development only we check, right? What do you mean by quality again? If the same role exists in dev, quality, and production, correct?
Yeah, true. I mean, why did I ask for development quality? Because I heard it that in development, single roles are being tested, and once everything is okay, once the role is moved to quality, there will check with business roles. That's what I heard. I'm not sure whether it is correct or not.
Once you move to quality, what is that you
They
said?
will check with the composite role. That's what I heard.
Composite role. No, not exactly. So as soon as a single role is created, they test it.
Okay, yeah.
And later, composite role may be created later after few days, not immediately. We don't create a composite role, right? First, we'll be creating the single roles. It may take some time.
No,
Only
I mean
after.
to say, if the single role is already a part of the composite role, we are just adding a T code to that role.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
So at that time, we need not separately add it.
We can check in both the ways. At a single role level, we can check the risk analysis. Even at the composite role level, also we can check the risk analysis. Okay, let me complete this. I'll show you so that after that, whether your doubt is clarified or not, we'll check it. Again, we'll come back.
Fine, Sridhar. Okay.
Right. So going back to system now. So we already know there is a user. So this is a user in our system. Bench user 1 who is assigned with 2 roles has following T codes. Now this user does not have access to this T code SU10. Okay, that does not have access to SCC9. Okay, this user is not having access to a T code called SCC9. So now I want to simulate if this user is requesting for this T code. So if we add SCC9 to this user, so that is what by adding into the respective role or by adding into another role, whatever it may be, you are adding this SCC9 to this user. So what will be the new risks? We'll see now. So what are the current risks, and then by after adding SCC9, what will be the risk? I'm not adding the SCC9, but we are simulating that concept now. Let me also log in into backend and to show you what are the T codes assigned to user. So I'm pulling the list of T codes assigned to the user. Executable for user, bench user. So these are the T codes user has. Why it is not showing SCC7? This is the role, right? Yes.